Yeah, we have just discussed the relevance of ecological anthropology, and we'll try to broaden why is ecological anthropology an emerging and which perhaps is seen to be pretty much important in trying to understand how the relations between human and nature has coexist, and in trying to understand the interrelations between human and nature. Now, as we had looked at and discussed how Julian Stewart has come up with different concepts in trying to make sense and understand uh, the various interrelations, and beginning from the 1960s, there has been an urging increase in terms of the needs in order to locate the various changing trends and interactions which exist between human and nature, or human the ecosystem. Now, moving on, uh, next to what we had seen and discussed from Julian Stewart's, we will try to pick and discuss some of the anthropologists in this particular field, and Marvin Harris is one of them. And Marvin, no doubt, has contributed immensely in the field of ecological anthropology, and he has conceptualized a term called cultural materialism, and he gave a lot of emphasis on the material aspects. It is not just the ideas which is important in trying to understand relations between human and nature or human ecosystem. So, what Marvin Harris tries to look and focus is this particular school of thought in which uh, Marvin Harris belongs to, uh, tends to espouse the kind of relations that technology and economic features has a far-reaching impact, or in a sense have a sort of uh, relationship with the features of a society, or in shaping what society is. Now, these are some of the kind of characteristics which Harris also focused on, and he strongly gave sort of a priority to the concepts of infrastructure over structure and superstructure. Now, when we talk about structure, it's more to do with the materialistic aspect, and when we talk about superstructure, it is more of the ideas, which is something non-physical. Now, the infrastructure, as I said, is sort of a mode of production, and there is an interrelationship between this mode of production, the kind of population which inhabit a particular habitat, and also the kind of the mating patterns. Now, structure ideally refers to more of a domestic and the political economic aspect, and superstructure consists of more of a leisure, if not a recreational kind of productions services. Now, in this context, Harris' main purpose was to show or to demonstrate the kind of adaptive materialistic rationality of all cultural features, which is pretty much embedded in that particular environment. Now, in essence, we can see that the adaptive mechanism, which is primarily based on this materialist aspect, is to be seen in almost every cultural group while they are sort of making sense or adapting with the environment which they inhabit. Now, secondly, of course, the third one, now Roy Rappaport is also contributing immensely in the field of this ecological anthropology, and his work, some of the notable works which he has published, Ritual Meaning and Ecology, or Ecology, Meaning and Religion, how he tries to interpret and relate or sort of tries to critically understand ecology and religion, how people make sense of their ecology through the use of religion such as rituals, ceremonies, and so on and so forth. And also his prior work on Peaks for the Ancestor was has contributed immensely despite so much of criticism. Now, what are the kind of contributions Roy Rappaport has made? He in fact has brought a new innings in terms of trying to understand ecology from the structural and functionalist perspective. He tries to bring in structuralism and functionalism together in order to make sense or understand ecology. And in this, he conceptualized a term called a paradigm, or rather a way of looking ecology from the neo-functionalist perspective, which I'll broadly give conceptual clarifications in the later slides. Now, using this neo-functionalism approach, he tends to bring in a new ideas or a new perspective in trying to locate and understand human and ecology. And Rappaport tends to see culture as something which is sort of a function of the ecosystem, and also he strongly focuses on trying to understand the carrying capacity, and which of course needs to be understood in the context of energy expenditure, which perhaps is precisely the central themes in Rappaport's studies. And he has conducted quite an extensive study in New Guinea and among the Samba tribe. Now, we would be elaborating that in a later discussion. Now, Rappaport in a sense tries to looked at make a systematic study of how ritual, religion and ecology are interrelated and are to be seen as something which is synchronic, which is parallel, and also as something which is functionalist. And these sort of characteristics of a society which he studied among the Samba tribes contributed immensely in trying to making sense of the ecology which they have inhabited. And as a result of this scientific revolution, functionalism in anthropology has taken a new level, in a sense a new ecology, and which perhaps is one of the main contributions of Rappaport. Now, as I said, what Rappaport has come with a new paradigm by employing the terminology called neo-functionalism. Now, what is neo-functionalism? Now, the term sort of was revised or reused beginning from the 1960s, and which primarily focused on trying to sort of bring forth the structural and functionalist perspective. And neo-functionalism in a sense tends to explicitly trying to make sense of understand the system leveled interactions, and especially the kind of negative feedback which is of immense importance to techno-environmental forces. Now, this sort of interplay, which is seen in the context of environment, ecology, and population, is perhaps what he intends to see from the neo-functionalist approach. Now, within this neo-functionalism, culture in a sense is reduced to sort of an adaptive mechanism or an adaptation, and the kind of behavior, the functional behaviors of those populations are homeostatic and deviation, which is counteracting and serving to maintain the systems at large. Now, neo-functional also tends to measure sort of the tangible currencies such as the population density, and also that relates to the fitness, which is primarily focused as in the evolutionary biology. Now, why is population given importance in this neo-functional perspective? Now, the more a population increases, or the density of the population, it tends to have an implications or influences on the natural surroundings, and obviously it will put more pressure on the natural resources. Therefore, Rappaport also give an understanding of the carrying capacity of a particular environment, of how the human populations in a sense make a subsistence in terms of the means of livelihood. Now, Moran has again given an explanation of what the carrying capacity is, where I quote what Moran says is, carrying capacity is the number of individuals that habitat can support, that is the natural resources in a particular environment, which can in a sense support or can sort of supply the demands of the population. And this particular idea of Morant is related to the kind of population pressure, which in a sense can be referred to the demands of a population on the resources of that particular ecosystem. Now, when we talk about population, let us try to refresh our mind by bringing in Malthus' ideas or essays on population, wherein he tends to not sort of warn us that if a population increases in an uncontrolled manner, it in a way will have a far-reaching impact on the habitat. Now, moving on, what Moran has in essence tries to explicitly explain here is that if the kind of technology which a particular group engages shift, that is from more of a simple to or a complex, or maybe using a simple tools like X, hoe, and then certain other simple tools. And if people move on to much more of a modernized or a civilized so-called kind of technology like tractors and so on and so forth, it will definitely hamper or if not affect the carrying capacity. So, in a sense, the evolution of technology has directly impacted on the carrying capacity. It will definitely change this. Now, one particular example of the applications of this carrying capacity within the discipline of this ecological anthropology is vividly explained by Rappaport's study among the Samba marine in New Guinea. which I will elaborately give a picture in a later discussion. Now, what is this synchronic study then, which Rappaport has talked about? Now, in this, it is more or less based on a short-term investigation rather than a longitudinal kind of study. Remember, when a fieldwork is being carried out on a particular cultural group or a society, anthropologists usually involve maybe as a participant observation by engaging in ethnographic study, or periodically maybe for a period of like few months or maybe a year and then few years. Now, in this synchronic study, it is more on a short-term investigations that occur at a particular point of time and does not really take into account the historical processes. Now, the validity or rationality of an empirical research again is normally when a society or a cultural group is being studied, we tend to look at the social and economic history of that particular group. But over here, it's more of sort of, I won't say a journalistic kind of investigation, but it is a very brief kind of field work which is being conducted in this what Rappaport has mentioned about in this synchronic study. Now, moving on, the other anthropologist called Harold Kunklint. Now, Kunklint's contributions is pretty much he is sort of a pioneer in the field of studying the agriculture in traditional societies, and his main contribution is on the method or the kind of socio-cultural relationship which is seen in the context of slush and burn cultivation. And Kunklint is pretty much well known in the field of anthropology for his contributions of this slush and burn cultivation, which is also known as shifting cultivation and also mostly known as zooming practices. Now, depending on the kind of region and geographical area, there has been a different names given, and in the areas like Southeast Asia, it is also known as Sweden agriculture. Now, over here, what is the primary focus? It tends to look at the kind of the availability of land and also the kind of populations which in a sense inhabit and practices this agriculture system. Now, under these conditions, as there is an abundance of availability of land, and if a population is sparsely populated, it will have less environmental effect, or there will be less destructions of the environment. Now, for those who are not very familiar and then new to the practices of this cultivation, usually a particular community, if not a family, tends to locate a patch of land and clear those forests and usually engage in burning so that the nutrients and fertility of the soil is retained. And after a few years of cultivating that particular area, they move on to a different patch of land by keeping that area to remain fallow so that it regenerate and revitalize the soil nutrients. So, it is sort of like a cultivation which is being shifted from one place to another. Now, the recent research on this shifting cultivation, what they have found out is due to the increase in population, there is an increasing demand of availability of land, and people tends to engage more permanently rather than leaving that area for fallow. So, which means rather than what the traditional practice of shifting cultivation, now it becomes more of a permanent cultivations. Now, in the process, it tends to sort of to be seen as environmentally destructive, because owing to the kind of practices which involve like felling down of trees and then burning them, so on and so forth. Now, many of the environmentalists, if not the scientific community, tends to see these practices as something which is posing a threat to the environment, and also from the economic perspective, if you look at, it is not really the kind of output which is being received is not really benefiting, if not from the market orientation, it is not really beneficial. Now, netting further gives an explanation that the wide and detailed knowledge of plant and animal species, the climate, the topography and soils are more or less based on the ethno-scientific repertoire of indigenous food producers. Now, again, this indigenous knowledge or the ethno-scientific which a particular community possesses, in a way is based on the idea of subsistence rather than accumulation or profit. Now, therefore, not just the agriculture practices, but they also do have an abundant knowledge in terms of managing the plants, animals and different topographical and the climatic change. Now, netting also further basing on Kung Lin's understanding of slush and burn cultivation, he tends to set the standards of these ecological descriptions with a clear explanation of the cartography of land use and village boundaries. Now, this sort of ecological description again is important, because usually people tends to dwell in a place where they can flourish in terms of these agriculture practices. Now, Kung Lin's focus was more on integrating this ethno-ecology and cultural ecology. Remember, he tends to club together and try to see the relationship between this ethno-ecology and cultural ecology of the agro-system or the agro-ecosystem of the community called the Hanuna and Ifugao in the Philippines. Now, he conducted an extensive study in Philippines, in the rural areas or traditional practices of those communities in Philippines. Now, in that study, he tends to see the kind of relationship between the ecology and the cultural practices of those people in trying to make sense of the agro-ecosystems. Now, another anthropologist who is has contributed immensely in the field of ecological anthropology again is Roy Eland. Roy Eland is more known for his extensive research on the kind of traditional ecological knowledge and local knowledge of a particular community. Now, Eland's main focus was in his studies on the ecology of subsistence behavior, how a particular community tends to involve or try to make sense of their ecology, and they tends to sort of follow these traditions or practices of subsistence. And he also focuses on the ethnobiology, classification and the social organization of trade. And his work was mainly confined in the West Java among the Nualu community. And through his work, he comes to develop the kind of increasing understanding of the concepts which are pretty much widely used by the indigenous peoples and their understanding of the environment. So, in a sense, that sort of relationship between the ecology and the indigenous peoples were pretty much being emphasized by Roy Allen. Now, Allen has quite a number of publications, and a few of his publications here are the Nuala Settlement and Ecology, which was published way back in 1981, and also Environment, Subsistence and System, the Ecology of Small Scale Social Formations, which was published in 1982, and Social and Ecological Systems and Malinowski Between Worlds, that is way back in 1989. Now, in the entire throughout of his research, he tends to see the duality between environment, subsistence and the social system of those indigenous peoples, how they tend to make sense of their environment and the kind of ecological knowledge which they have possessed, in a sense were to be seen from a subsistence agricultural practices. Now, as I had talked about the cultural core which was mentioned by Julian Stewart, here he defined this, what is cultural core then. Now, Julian Stewart give a conceptual definition of cultural core as something which is the features of a particular society that are closely related to subsistence activities and economic arrangements. So, there are different economic arrangements in different societies in different period of time. Now, it will be difficult to see the kind of these subsistence activities and economic arrangement from a modernist, if not a capitalist economic perspective. Now, ideally, this cultural core is also pretty much expressive in the line of how a particular community which inhabit a particular environment make sense or make full use of the existing available natural resources in order to meet their needs, and perhaps not something, they do not believe in the idea of surplus, and they usually engage in agriculture practices which in a sense fulfill their basic requirements or basic needs. And furthermore, this cultural core also includes the political, religious and social patterns that are sort of interrelated to, that is, or in relationship with and such arrangements. Now, in a sense, you can say that cultural core is also a part of that adaptation to a specific or particular environment. Now, ethnobotany is also part of the understanding of a particular community in which they make sense of the plants, the species in their sort of habitat area. Now, ethnobotany again is an ethno-scientific study of relationship between human beings and the plant life. Now, way back in the 1960s, these ethnobotanical units were used in ecological comparisons. Now, why is this ethnobotany important? Now, if you look at some of the indigenous communities, they do make sense and understand the potentials and the intrinsic value of plants. Now, before this modern medical system was introduced, many of these indigenous peoples rely on these plants as medicines or medicinal plants, and this extensive or vast knowledge which they have on these plants have in essence contributed to their well-being. And even till today, this ethnobotany is pretty much revered. Now, there are different functions of how these things are being carried on, and there are two ways of looking at. One is the manifest function and one is the latent function. Now, a latent function of a particular community behavior is not something which is explicitly stated or recognized, or which is perhaps intended by the people involved in it. Thus, they are identified by the observers, which is not simply explicitly shown or expressed. Rather, latent functions are more or less associated with the ethic and the operational models. For example, if you see Rappaport's works on pigs and for the ancestor, which is more the ritual in the ecology of New Guinea people, the latent functions in that particular community is the sacrifice of too many pigs, that is slaughtering of a number of animals, while its manifest function in that particular sacrifice of is the sacrifice to pigs to the ancestor. Now, what is the sort of hidden meaning, if not the idea which is embedded in this sacrifice of the pig? Now, there can be two levels of function, that is the latent and the manifest function. The manifest function can be the kind of sacrifice which is being done to the in reverence to their ancestor, whereas the latent can be sort of the number of pigs which are being slaughtered in that particular ritual. Now, these are to be sort of categorically understood, and in manifest function, it sort of explicitly stated, or which is much more evident and apparent, and which is understood by the participant in the relevant action. Now, in latent function, it requires an observer to sort of look at the in-depth meaning which is being attached to it, rather than the outside, if not the vivid expression of that particular sacrifices. Now, for example, in a rain dance, the manifest function could be to produce rain, and this outcome usually is intended and desired by people participating in the ritual, and this could be defined as emic and cognized models. Now, this is the emic expression, and whereas latent is more of an ethic. Now, if you look at the latent function, by giving an example of this rain dance, again this particular outcome might have a different explanation and a different intention of trying to explain how people are being participating in that particular ritual, and the desire to receive abundant rain. Now, if you look at the historical ecology, historical ecology tends to make sense or understand the how culture and environment mutually influence each other over a period of time. Maybe it can be generations, and sort of a continuous which has been prevalent in the past years. And these studies have sort of diachronic dimensions. And what are these diachronic dimensions? And why is it important to sort of historically understand the kind of relations which exist between culture and environment, and how these two are mutually influencing each other. Now, historical ecology again is holistic and affirms that life is not independent from culture. So, even if a community lives in isolations from different societies, they do have a kind of practices which is broadly understood as culture, and this culture again is an ecological perspective which in a sense adhere to the idea of the relationship between a human population and its physical environment, and this has to be understood and examined holistically rather than deterministically. Now, as we had discussed in the previous lectures on how human ecology is to be seen from environmental determinism and environmental possibilism. Now, environment usually don't determine the behavior of a particular community, and it can be therefore, it is important to see from much more of a holistic approach. There can be no single explanation. It is not suffice to see from a unidimensional approach. Rather, it has to be seen from a multidimensional or a holistic approach. Now, for example, the landscape can be explained or understood historically in a different way. Now, what is this landscape again? Landscape, if we try to inject the idea of culture, it can be seen as a cultural landscape. Now, a cultural landscape again can be not necessarily the physical aspect, but it can be also more of ideational, it can be imaginary. The kind of social memory a particular community has attached to that particular landscape has also to be captured if it has to be seen in a more holistic way. Now, why is landscape to be understood or explained historically? Because historical ecology again attempts to study land as an artifact of human activity. What is this artifact? Usually, there are different kinds of imprints or meanings which are being attributed to the natural surroundings or ecosystems. For instance, a river can be sacred to a particular community, or maybe a stone can be a stone which is usually an artifact, can have certain kind of connections and interrelations between the human and that particular object. Therefore, landscape has to be sort of contextualized or understood from the perspective of historical ecology. Now, if you look at many the indigenous communities or those who tends to sort of express their ethnic identity to a particular landscape, they do have these stories of their attachment and the kind of value which they attach to, for instance, the sacred forest or a sacred grove. Now, a sacred grove in the indigenous communities, they tends to preserve that particular forest because they feel that the spirits of their ancestors dwells, or maybe before they depart from this mundane world, they tends to dwell in that place. Therefore, this spirit which is in the existence of that particular environment is so sacred to that community. Now, therefore, a landscape can have a multifaceted meanings, and it has to be understood from a multidimensional perspective. Now, some of the methodologies which is widely used in the field of ecological anthropology since its development. Now, the in cultural ecology, one of the methodology which is popularly being used beginning from 1950s and early 60s involve the prior identification of the kind of technology which is being employed by populations in the use of environmental resources. Now, again, why is technology important? Now, if you look at the kind of different levels of society or how the civilization has sort of an impinging on human societies, technology in a sense has explicitly plays a very important role in trying to make sense of the environment by human populations. Now, this is one of the first methodology which was being posited and used by in the cultural ecology. And the second is the patterns of behavior which is relevant to the use of that particular technology. And lastly, the extent to which these behaviors affect other cultural characteristics is again examined and understood. Now, what are the patterns of this behavior which are relevant to the use of technology? Now, as I had discussed previously, with the changes in this technology, as technology becomes finer and more sort of modernized, sort of behavior also changes, and maybe our lifestyle or modes of production or our relationship with the environment has changes bit by bit, and then sometime it can be more of a drastical change. Now, let us give an example, look at the works of Marvin Harris. What are the kind of methodology which he has employed in trying to develop in the field of this ecology, in which was more or less used in the 1960s. Now, as we had discussed, Harris' cultural materialism, the method or the concepts which he used incorporates the ecological explanation and advances a more explicit and systematic scientific research strategy. Now, he tries to bring in this materialist aspect, that is the modes of production, how humans engages in the sort of trying to the means of livelihood. Now, this concept of adaptation, which was used by Harris, mainly tries to have an explanatory mechanism, and his research also tries to focus on the extensive literary research in comparison, and in one of his work, the cultural ecology of India's sacred cattle. Again, here we tend to look at why a particular community, for a particular community, an animal is considered to be sacred, and depending on that, there is a sort of a behavior which is being attributed to the relationship with that environment. And thirdly, Rappaport and Wadia also has contributed significantly to the applications of new methodologies in the 1960s, and both of them has focused upon the ecosystem approach in trying to understand the functioning and the flow of energy. And this ecosystem approach for quite some time remained popular among the ecological anthropologists in the 60s and 70s. And ethnoecology was also relevant for quite some time or few decades. And this ethnoecology methodology falls within the cognitive anthropology. It is more to do with the kind of knowledge or ideas which a particular community has learned, if not embedded within them. Now, let us look at the ecosystem based model of human ecology. Now, there is this American anthropologist by the name called Andrew Wadia and Roy Rappaport, which suggested that instead of studying simply how culture are adapted to the environment, attention should rather be focused on the relationship of specific human populations to the specific ecosystem. That is, it is not just something where a culture should simply adapt to an environment, but rather how the sort of interrelationship which coexists between a human population and the ecosystem. So, therefore, it tries to bring in a new trends or a new way of approach in looking at the human and environment. Now, in their view, they tend to see that human beings in a sense constitute another population among a vast populations of plants and animal species that in a sense interact each other and with the non-living components as well, that is the climate, the soil, water and their local ecosystem. So, which rather seems to be much more of a holistic approach in trying to make sense of the relationship between human and its environment. Now, therefore, from their sort of understanding, ecosystem rather than the culture constitute the fundamental units of analysis in their conceptual framework of human ecology. So, which means they give a lot of importance to the ecosystem rather than the culture. So, in a sense we can say that they were more attuned to the environmental determinism, deterministic approach, and for them cultural traits are of interest only as they can be shown, which again contribute to the population survival in the context of the ecosystem. That again is the environmental possibilism. Now, as I said, Roy Rappaport's now moving on to some of the works which this anthropologist has done. Now, Roy Rappaport, as I said, is known for his work on Pigs for the Ancestor, which was published in 1968, again follows this ecosystem based model of human ecology. And here Rappaport tries to understand and demonstrate how religious rituals which was practiced by the Samba tribal group of New Guinea functioned to maintain their population in balance with the available resources of their environment. That is the balances, that is what in the modern parlance we talk about sustainability. That is, it is important to look at the carrying capacity of that resources, and perhaps the Sambega community were pretty much able to sustainably use their resources, or they were able to sort of balance in terms of through their religious rituals. Now, again Rappaport tends to see religion as something and institutions what Stewart had largely excluded from his concept of the ecologically adaptive cultural core. Now, which again plays a key regulatory role in the relationship between Sambaga population and the other components of their ecosystem. Now, this is something which Rappaport's idea is partly surpassing, if not different, from Julian Stewart's idea of religion. Now, as I said, the Sambaga again were communities which practices a system of Sweden farming, that is the slush and burn cultivation, which was similar to what was described by Clifford Geertz for the outer islands of Indonesia. Now, if you look at many of the pioneer anthropologists, they tend to study communities which are in isolations, or which can be seen from those who are far from the modernist idea of this civilization, and they tend to give a detailed description of not just their social practices, but their economic practices. And remember, when we talk about human and environment relationship, it is important to focus on the economic aspect, that is that mode of production, how this modes of production again has an impact on the cultural practices, or rather these economic practices over a period of time has become a way of life of that particular community. Now, one pertinent point or peculiarity of this Sambaga community was they were engaged in sort of rearing animals, that is domestic animals which were raised by this particular community again is a pig. Now, why is the pig so much important? Is the pig something which is sort of a wealth to them, or what purpose does it serve? Now, for instance, in the different communities like mostly the tribal communities in Northeast, they again give a lot of importance to owning or rearing the bos frontalis, which is locally known as mithund. Now, it is not just for their own consumption, but also it serves a purpose in terms of the social and religious practices. And on very important occasions, they tend to slaughter these animals. Now, similarly, the pigs tends to have held a very important position in the context of the Sambaga community, and which I will explain here. Now, when we look at the religious practices and how is these religious practices impacting on the environment, there is this sort of interrelationship which goes on in the life of the social cycle of the Sambaga community. Now, there is this practices of the great ritual feast, wherein a number of pigs are being slaughtered in this occasion, and these practices again have often been thought to be an example of maladaptive cultural trait, which is similar to the sacred cows of India. Now, why is it sometime an observer might tend to see these practices as maladaptive cultural practices? Because at one go n number of animals are being slaughtered. Now, Rappaport has given a different explanation in which he argued that far from being maladaptive practices of their culture, these ritual regulations of pig killings actually functions to better adapt the Sambaga population to their tropical forest ecosystem. Now, why is it that this is more adaptive rather than maladaptive? Now, Rappaport in his findings from the field asserted that the ritual restrictions of these killings of pigs only on certain ceremonial occasions serve to sort of maximize the supply of protein. Remember, the meat of an animal has sort of catered to the supply of protein to human body, and this supply of protein at times when the Samba community need the most. And when does these people need? Mostly they when they go for a war, and usually in a war people tend to like sometimes starve, and then they don't have a sufficient supply of a food system, or which are sort of helpful for the human body. Now, when these warring communities or warring groups come back to their original home habitat, they conduct this kind of ritual so that it sort of supply this particular protein, and slaughtering of a number of animals are being carried out. Now, why is this possible again in the Samba community is because they are small in number and they are able to sort of balance with the kind of resources which are available to them. Now, for instance, the killing of pigs in this community again is also being carried out for certain reasons, and one of them is the supernatural reasons, and which again is to sort of an appeasement practices to those evil spirits which were perhaps seems to be a malady or causing certain sickness and diseases, and also through this sacrificial practices, it again helps the spirits of those ancestors in fighting. And remember, if you look at the tribal warfare, warring groups, they tend to practice different kind of rituals before even setting out for a war, that is seeking the help of their ancestors. So, in a way, this appeasing or sort of giving a reverence to the ancestral spirits enhances these communities in order to be more strong, if not vigorous, when they go to the war front. Now, in a way, the slaughtering of this pig, if not sacrifice of these pigs, serve two purposes. That is, one, appeasing the supernatural forces like the evil spirits, and also alongside it tends to give a boost to the ancestral spirits in their fight. Now, Rappaport not only see this ritual as serving the nutrients to the Samba population, but also it tends to further through these ritual cycles, it functions to maintain the population density, which in a way is compatible to the long term carrying capacity of that particular ecosystem. And this is being practiced by regulating the frequency of the death of few animals and the intensity which the warfare occurs. So, there is this interrelationship between what is being practiced in terms of sacrifice rituals, and also in the war front, how there has been a sort of a symbolic relationship which exists in these practices. Now, if we are to look at from the cultural perspective, there are certain rules again which are being followed by the these communities, and remember, there is a continuous engagement of intertribal warfare, and which tends to be part of the tradition of many communities who continuously engage in fighting amongst themselves. And this, at this very critical juncture, when this war goes on, which was usually carried out for a limited period of time, were symbolized by this feast. Now, why is this feast again important? Why is this the killing of pigs, if not the feast, so symbolic to them? It not only, to my mind, I feel that it not only cater to the nutrients or pertains to the warring groups, but also the community feast in a sense has created that togetherness, or maybe a sort of cooperations through these kind of practices. Now, they sort of feast together and then sort of share their ideas, and a social cohesion is created by these practices. Now, ideally, there can be no group which go to the war front, however great the provocation might be, until a sufficient herd has been assembled to hold a proper feast. So, in a way, to gear up again for the second expedition, this kind of ritual is important, and through this they tend to reinvigorate, if not strengthen themselves to move on to go on for the second expedition. Thus, the very ability of this Samba community to engage in a particular war is also determined by the number of these particular animals which they have produced or they owned, and depending on this their sort of ability to raise the pig again is determined by the overall state of their ecosystem. So, in a way, if one is capable of rearing a number of these animals, it is a sign of a test of masculinity. Now, the status of an individual is also being seen from owning of the number of animals, and then in which they are capable of rearing how much animals they have for this particular feast. Therefore, this sort of economic practices in a way also influence the social or political practices, and again it has sort of an overriding implications on the environment when we talk about the adaptive capacity of slaughtering, if not rearing animals. And of course, this particular community again apparently are not really concerned with the ecological efficiency, and perhaps they engage in slaughtering pigs for religious and social reasons, and they tends to not, because they are striving to ensure the maximum flow of protein from the ecosystem to themselves. Now, therefore, it is important to locate and understand how there is social and religious reasons behind these practices. It is not to be seen simply in isolation from the ecological efficiency. There can be sort of an adaptive or maladaptive perspective. Now, in practice, this mass slaughter of pigs at the end of a truce, if not a war, is also symbolizes the kind of wealth and power one has. And remember, the wealth and power of an individual again is counted or measured by the number of animals which they owned, and which in a sense also ensured that the support of both the ancestor spirit, which in a way helps them in fighting, and also their human allies in the next round of fightings, which they sort of strengthen themselves, and then with these practices they are able to condition themselves or better equip themselves for the other round or next round of expedition. Now, usually these rituals are being attended by big masses, and the mass consumption in a way can rather be seen in these particular occasions. Now, from an outsider's perspective, it rather looks to be sort of a wasteful practices, and or maybe from a nutritional point of view. However, it tends to serve more of a social needs to this community, because it enhances in terms of an effective alliances with the needed allies, which in a way are coming to or engaging in a war. So, maybe at the times of a truce or is being signed, this sort of feast is pretty much essential for them to and it plays a significant role in terms of enhancing the social cohesion, if not the alliances within different communities. Now, therefore, ideally it has to, the kind of practices has to be seen or located in the context rather than simply the manifest function. It has to be seen from the ideas which are embedded in that practices, the ideas behind these practices. Therefore, the efficacy of the slaughter of these animals should therefore be assessed not as Rappaport has done in terms of the interactions of the Samba community with their local ecosystem, but rather it should be seen in terms of their adaptation, that is the adaptations of the tribal society to the conflict-ridden social environment of the New Guinea highlands. Therefore, these practices serve a dual purposes to them, not just the nutritional supply, but then also in terms of making an alliances, if not a peaceful coexistence of different communities in that area. Now, moving on to the second model of human ecology, which I also popularly known as the actor-based model of human ecology. And what is this actor-based model ecology about? It rather tries to developed by Orloff in way back in 1980, and it has become one of the major new wave in human ecology. And what it espouses is that adaptation occurs at the level of individuals rather than on the cultures or populations, which again is contradictory to what we had just explained from the Samba community, wherein Rappaport give an explicit explanation about how the culture in a way determines the human activity in terms of their relationship with the ecology. But actor-based model again is pretty much individualistic in that sense. It is different from what we have just discussed. Now, in this model, it reflects that both anthropologists have a general concern with the individual's decision-making processes, and which was primarily being initiated by the evolutionary biologists, and which also have been carried on with the current preoccupation, which shows that the natural selection operates exclusively at the levels of the individual organism. Over here, it's not the other individual which is important, but the individuals in his relationship with his own parts, that is the organism. Now, from this perspective, if you look at any levels of organizations, whether it can be in relationship with the communities, the ecosystems, or the human social system, it exists only as the fortuitous outcome of interactions among many individual organisms. Therefore, in this model, it is the individual which is given a much high priority, no matter its relationship with any forms of organizations. Now, in the case of human society, therefore, environmental adaptation is often seen as occurring not as a result of natural selection on the cultural or social system level, but rather as the results of the outcomes of thousands of individuals' decisions about how best to interact with the environment. Now, which means the individual is not socially or culturally conditioned, but the individuals themselves make a decision in order to adapt, if not how best to interact with the environment. So, it is not the interest of the society, but or the community, but it is in the interest of the individual rather, how they tend to function in relation to the environment. Now, over here, the individuals assumes to be making choices, and which is in a sense engaging in by exploiting the available resources while coping with the environmental hazards. Now, for instance, those who make these correct choices will survive and prosper, and those who chooses less wisely will be selected against. So, in a way, in this context, we can recall what Charles Darwin talked about in terms of adaptation. Now, when we talk about adaptation, it is also about the choices which we as an individual make. It is not how capable we are, but rather the kind of choices which we make, and if we make the right choices, then there are ample chances of or extensive larger chances of being to survive and then prosper. Now, if we give an example of an actor-based analysis in the context of the Samba community, in the context of that ritual cycle of the pig killing, which was explained explicitly by Rappaport, again is not something to be seen as an accidental outcome of how an individual make a decision in relationship with his tribesmen. For instances of how to make a best maximize the use of those limited resources which are available in order to achieve power and prestige within that particular society. Thus, we can in a sense conclude and understand the success of this feast from the societal viewpoint, and it has to be rather seen from the community or communitarian ideas rather than the individual choices. Therefore, we need to differentiate between the actor model of this orientation from the societal, if not more of the community oriented. Therefore, it is pretty clear that what kind of model influences an individual to conduct or behave in relations or in function to the environment. We'll stop here and then continue in the next lecture. Thank you.